Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm, and coaching paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We try to make something happen for your listening pleasure in that way, and we continue to do that to the best of our ability whenever possible, and that becomes something that we all are in some way benefiting from doing. We've got over 1,400 of these for your listening pleasure. Make something happen for you in a good way. So, signs of depression that you may be undervaluing is the topic of today's particular audio. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter and or in the About Me section of this YouTube page if you're looking for coaching in any way. We can connect from there. So the first thing is oversleeping or undersleeping. Obviously, your sleep schedule and your circadian rhythms will impact on your quality of life. And so if you are oversleeping, undersleeping, overeating, undereating, basically any rhythm-related behavior that needs to take place every day, and they are out of whack, these are signs that you may be dealing with depression. People use these mechanisms, either sleep, oversleeping. Obviously, the idea is to kind of tune out the world. Undersleeping, the level of stress you're at can be, kind of causing that or contributing to that. Overeating, obviously gorging oneself just to feel better, the positive endorphins from foods we like, and undereating, either starving ourselves out of self-punishment or stress contributing to feeling like, eating isn't as enjoyable as it used to be. And so all of that becomes problematic for a number of reasons. The next thing there is increase in level of risk. Level of risk is one of those things that's extremely difficult to deal with for a number of reasons. Obviously, all life comes with some level of risk, right? In other words, if we don't take risks, we have to miss out on, or often do miss out on, things that we would normally enjoy, and or the idea that without risk comes very little reward, or at the very least a missed opportunity or three for the quality of life that we want to live. Now, that being said, in some level, there are a lot of things that go along with the idea of connecting on a deeper level with people who are kind of identifying what they want out of life. And so if you're not necessarily sure what you want out of life, sometimes you take risks just to see if something makes you feel a certain way. Obviously, the endorphins released through taking a risk when you don't need to can also kind of change your emotional state to the point where things become a little more manageable, but that risk often doesn't pay off, especially if it involves, for example, other people or situations where the risky behavior doesn't necessarily have a safeguard against it. There's a difference between going skydiving and knowing how to pull a parachute and walking into a room full of people that you're fighting with, just as an example. And so there's challenges there, just in terms of identifying what are worthwhile risks, safe risks, and also unsafe risks, depending on your perception. The next thing there is kind of substance related challenges, whether that be alcohol, drugs, or any addictive behavior, really. The level of addictive behavior is also a sign of a certain level of risk. When we take risky behaviors into account, there are a number of things that ultimately are there, and addictive behaviors usually are meant as mood state changers from an emotional level, but a mood state changer doesn't always pay off, especially when we begin to understand the value of kind of connecting on that deeper level. And also, the more you engage in a risky behavior, alcohol, drugs, or any such point, the higher level you have of being unable to get away from the addictive behavior in a way that's manageable. And then you have to deal with the post addiction behaviors, which ultimately doesn't put things forward in a positive and productive way. Next thing is dealing with balances of anger. Anger as it relates to just life events and experiences, but also anger at things not turning out the way you intended can often impulse to a negative thing. Anyway, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.